Lazurus, episode 5. We trying to find out if Skinner's still alive. Let's talk about it. Welcome back, you variants. So we're talking about Lazarus, and this is episode 5. And man, Axel is just kind of he's been through it. So apparently, we get some background on why he took Hapna. He took it because he just wanted to try it, wanted to see what was going on with it, wanted to see what the deal was, and even went so far as to headbutting the bars of his prison cell to elicit a pain reaction to see if the Hapna would work to alleviate the pain, and it did not. So he has some kind of immunity to Hapna, which may come in to play later on down the line as far as whatever they got going on, or if Skinner's got any traps, or somebody tries to inject somebody with somebody else, something else, or whatever the case may be. Like that's kind of what we gotta look at. Now, with that being said, Delta Medicinal was the key. So they end up basically finding a bunch of stuff that was uploaded by an employee to like a SoundCloud type deal. Basically, all of the distorted audio that was uploaded as songs was actually image files that had several different things on Hopna. So all this information, all this paperwork, whatever that Doug Leland were able to look through, kind of see, okay, this is where we need to figure this out, and it kind of led back to the president of Delta Medicinal. So they ended up going to check him out, and they find out he's got some super tight security. Like the underground car park is completely automated, so there's no way of getting in there, and it's completely like separate, so it's in the ground, right? There's no other buildings nearby, so nothing to jump off of to get to the other building. And then Leland's drones have no way of getting in because there's kind of drone barrier protection. It shuts everything down. Axel has a way in though. This man walks right through the front door, scans his little kind of phone badge key, whatever, so it manages to get all the way to the elevators, and security's kind of looking at him like something's up. We ain't liking this guy. So 4 guys get into the elevator with him, and this goes exactly how you think it's gonna go. Straight Captain America style. It's like, so you might want to get out? Nope. All right, let's get started. And he proceeds to beat them all like ridiculously. And there's no remorse. There is nothing that's gonna stop him from doing this. Like it's equal opportunity for everybody in the elevator. And so that people get, beat up, choked out, knocked out, whatever the case may be. After that, he ends up strolling up and finding out freaking that the doc freaking is nowhere to be found. It's the president who has been looking for the doc this entire time and still can't find him. So of course, after they shut down security, get the rest of the team on board and realize like, yeah, we can't find him. Stuff's been going wrong. We knew that Hopping was bad once we saw that one of the test subjects that they tested on, which was one of the apes that they had, died. And when it died, it had some kind of starry constellation kind of look in his eyes that was there when it ended. So again, he don't know what's going on either, but he wants to get Skinner just as much. He needs to find Skinner. And they end up coming up with plans like, okay, well, how are we gonna handle this? And this is where I was like, okay, let's draw them out. Let's set up to where we discovered an antidote. We discovered something that's going to cure this entire Hopna thing. Let's show it and put it to the public, have big press conference meetings and all this stuff, and just kind of bring everything in, so that people can check it out, and then that should bring Skinner out to the open. Now, of course, Eleina is like, yeah, she's gonna kind of set all this stuff up, and she's got everything on lock. All right, we need to do this, we need to do that. Everything needs to run for the fake conference to make sure that it's good. And we end up finding out that Hirsch has this bald guy she reports to. Remember, I talked about this before. I'm like, there's somebody she's reporting to, somebody she's talking to at some point in time about what she's got to do. And I don't know if this is the guy that hired her, this is just her boss, some kind of agency thing, or whatever the case may be. I don't know. But his name eludes me at the moment. I have to go figure it out. But that's who she's more or less reporting to for everything. Now, they set up everything to where they have 3 vials that's supposedly the cure. It's nothing but a saline solution. And they've got an injector and everything standing by, and they got GPS trackers in the vials in case somebody takes the vials and runs off with them. They can track the person that taking it. So everybody starts going through like the whole vetting process. Elena's on hacker duty, make sure there's nothing there. There's no wireless signals that are able to get in, and there's nothing that's able to breach through any kind of telecommunications. Then there's you got Leland and Doug who are just kind of watching everything, and they're going through checking with security and stuff. Security's got 50 guys who've all been vetted. Everybody's good to go. No issues, no background issues. Everybody's going to be on point as far as what they got to do. And then, it's like, all right, we got Eleina locked into like a control room where she can handle everything. Let's get it going and keep an eye on everything. So they're watching everybody as they're coming in to check this out. And there was one guy, Patrick Wong, who looked kind of funny because he had two phones. He forgot he had a phone when the little alarm went off. So of course he handed it over. But they're like, okay, we're watching that guy. All right, this one mysteriously went to the bathroom just all of a sudden. So at that, is it all of a sudden it's mysterious? I don't know. Let's go check him out anyway. Turns out that's a dead end as well, kind of. But he was one of Skinner's, or he was the mentee of one of Skinner's colleagues, so there was some connection there. But was it enough to do anything, or was it enough to bear any fruit? Nah, nothing at the moment. But what ends up happening is a bunch of commotion ends up going down. Like somebody starts kind of hacking into the system, and then somebody makes a run for the vials, and they end up taking one of the vials and injecting themselves with it. They're very happy. Like, oh, I'm cured. I'm got it. You're not going to just market this for yourselves. You're not going to just keep this to yourselves. This should be for the public. Ha, I've got the cure. I'm good to go. And yeah, they were like, yeah, dude, you just inject yourself with saline. Like you did absolutely nothing. That just sit down. They kind of had him locked in the corner. Don't know what they're gonna do with him, but I would proceed to have not told him anything. I would like, oh, we'll deal with that later. Um, but freaking while this is going down, we end up finding out that you know everything across multiple systems is getting breached, and Eleina can't figure out why. And she's actually in there like the everything's being turned on, air conditioning's being turned off, heat's being turned on, like the rest of everything. So they're getting hot inside the room, and Elena's like very specific, like don't open the door, don't do it. Of course, they open the door anyway, and if for whatever reason, bam, hacker gets in there, hackers on the core, and able to do whatever they got to do. Eleina has set up a file that freaking has documents in it that has notations about the cure. So that's of course what the person is going after. And through this process, even though nobody's listening, we found out that the radio signal, and that's how the hacker got in. The guards apparently had radios that went to outside before, but they had some kind of manufacturer defect, so they had them all turned in and had a new set shipped out, and that's the new set that they're using today and stuff. And that's how Popcorn Wizard is the hacker. I think was able to get in and do what they needed to do to access everything. So we already saw what 909 or whatever was taken out. So now Popcorn Wizard was the other good hacker that's up there with Elena, who was kind of running the show and bam, doing everything, getting the information and running. But Elena had planned for this and put a tracker on that particular program. So once that program got downloaded to Popcorn Wizard, they start tracking it. They ended up tracking it to somewhere in some other country where it was near the stock exchange, like a stock exchange in like Pakistan or something like that. And so they end up tracking it there. And so they end up sending police there to, go stuff because that's what Hirsch is there for, like sending police and everybody to go check that out. They can't find nothing. Turns out Popcorn Wizards in the van that drove off. And they're like, yeah, now the tracker's moving. This was going on. Popcorn Wizards checking everything out. And turns out this is a young girl who's just very boisterous and loud and just like, yeah, I'm with it. And ends up finding out that the whole program's a hack and is just like, whatever, and tosses the laptop out the window like it ain't nothing. It's got no traces of her or anything on it, just whatever. Tosses that out the window. It's like, yo, what's got me? And she ends up, doing everything so well and gloating about it. She ends up calling Elena, like, yeah, thought you had me. You came close, but you didn't get me, and I'm out. And Popcorn Wizard's got a whole like RV set up with satellite dish and everything on top. So that's how she's able to do whatever she wants to do from the mountains and kind of get all that information out. She was just standing by the stock exchange to mask her signal to make you think it was there. Like she is on one and she is really good at what she's doing. So Elena's got her work cut out for her because she was trying to set up multiple things to kind of catch her, but Popcorn Wizard was one step ahead seemingly every single time. So that's where they kind of end off with 21 days left. I like the way this is going. I like how it's judging along. Like we're finding out bits and pieces slowly about putting everything together. And everybody's kind of getting their more or less nemesis that they're having to deal with. So right now, Popcorn Wizard's the one. I want to see Elena get her get her revenge. I want to see her outdo Popcorn Wizard. So I'm interested to see that. I want to see Doug showcase some more of his shooting skills because he's good at that. Leland, he's already started to shine with his drone work. And like Chris has also got to do some stuff. She's already like kicked the dude in the face for trying to do some suspect things, but and even though she's a scrapper, but she's ready to jump off that roof and like hang glide over. So again, good show. I'm enjoying it. Freaking definitely think guys should be checking out every single episode that comes out. If you're not, if you're just checking in on this first one, go back and watch all of it. Make sure you hit that lovely red subscribe button. Again, love to hear from you, love to talk to you, love to have you down in the comments. Tell me what you think about the show, what you think about the episode in general, what do you think is going to happen. Theory craft with me. This is what I'm going to do over and over again. So right now, they're kind of back to square one. They need to hunt down Popcorn Wizard. So how can they track Popcorn Wizard to go and get some information? Because that's kind of where their lead lies. And maybe going to get that laptop that they threw off the cliff. Maybe that'll, have some information or explain some stuff to give them a lead at some point in time. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Until then, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.